Hi everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Have you ever wondered why the biggest, most important scientific puzzles are almost never solved by a single person in a lonely lab anymore? It turns out that to answer the really big questions about our world, we need to go global. When we try to understand things like how to stop the spread of misinformation or how to get people to take action on climate change, a small group of researchers in one city just is not enough. We need what is called big team science. This is the idea of bringing together hundreds of researchers from dozens of countries to work on one single project. It is like a massive worldwide classroom where everyone is working toward one goal. But as you can imagine, getting hundreds of scientists to agree on anything is like trying to herd cats. It requires a whole new way of thinking about cooperation. The first challenge in these big projects is just finding the right people. Usually scientists work with people they already know, like their students or colleagues at their own school. But the problem with that is that it leaves out a huge chunk of the world. It keeps science stuck in a bubble of wealthy Western nations. By using open calls on social media and professional hubs, researchers can connect with people across continents. This creates a much more diverse team, which means the results actually apply to the whole world, not just a small group of students on one campus. Now, once you have this huge team, how do you make sure everyone actually does the work? If you have 300 people on a project, it is really easy for some people to just sit back and let others do the heavy lifting. This is what psychologists call social loafing. To stop this, you have to create a system where everyone feels connected. You give them a reason to care by giving them ownership. In these studies, everyone gets credit for the work, and they get chances to lead their own smaller papers using the data they helped collect. By making their success tied to the success of the group, everyone is motivated to do their best. Of course, with hundreds of people working together, things are going to get messy. You have to figure out how to organize all that brainpower without things falling apart. If everyone tries to make every single decision, the project will grind to a halt. Scientists have learned that the best way to handle this is by using a modular structure. You break the big project into small, manageable pieces. You have regional leads and writing teams who handle specific tasks, and they all report back to a central hub. It is like a well-oiled machine where everyone has a specific role, which prevents the project from getting bogged down in endless meetings. Even with a perfect plan, people are still people. Conflicts are bound to happen. Maybe two researchers want to analyze the data in different ways, or someone feels like they are not getting enough credit. This is where the emotional labor comes in. A big part of leading these projects is being a diplomat. You have to navigate different cultural ways of working and keep morale high even when things get stressful. It is a tough job, and it is usually done behind the scenes, but it is exactly what keeps the whole ship from sinking. There are definitely still some major hurdles. Money is the biggest one. It is very expensive to collect data from dozens of countries at the same time. Right now, it is often easier for teams in rich countries to get the funding to do this, which means we still have a long way to go to make science truly equitable. We need more international support and systems that make it easier for researchers in less wealthy nations to lead these big projects too. I think the move toward big team science is incredibly exciting because it forces us to be more collaborative. It reminds us that science is not just about the data, it is about the humans behind the work. My take on this is that while big team science can be difficult and slow, the results are so much more reliable because they represent a wider range of humanity. I would love to see universities and funding agencies start giving even more weight to these large collaborations in their career reviews. After all, if we want to solve global problems, we have to start working like a global community. Future research should also explore how smaller, single lab studies can better plug into these larger networks, so that no one gets left behind. If you enjoyed this deep dive into how scientists are changing the way they work, please hit that like button. Comment below with your thoughts on whether big teams make better science, and subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more fascinating looks into the science of us. Thanks for watching.